Hello, everybody. It is Friday, March 6th, and welcome back to the Nick Watkins Show. I'm Nick Watkins. Let's get into it. We have a lot to talk about today, and not the most amount of time, so no filler. Let's just get right into it. We're going to start today with the World Baseball Classic. There were a couple of games yesterday and a little bit the day before that, but most of the games have already, a lot of the games are already going on. Some of them have already happened. The one in Japan, so let's just talk about that. Australia beat Czechia late last night, 5-1. Curtis Mead, he homered in this game. Hendrickson got the win, and the loss went to Andra, and I believe that was the only game we haven't talked about yet. Although Korea, they beat Czechia, I think we did talk about that one. So early this morning, Japan played Chinese Taipei, and they won 13-0. Yamamoto got the win. He went 2 2/3. Shohei Ohtani had a masterful performance in this one. He went 3 for 4 with 5 RBIs, including a grand slam, an RBI single, and a double. This game was 13-0 after the third inning, and the Japan didn't score another run, and this game was actually cut short due to the mercy rule. So Japan, they scored 10 runs in the second, 3 in the third, off of Chang, and oh man, that is domination. That really is. Shohei Ohtani had a monster game in this one, and you're looking to see some more performances like that today. We got a couple of lopsided ones going on right now. Cuba and Panama, the Netherlands and Venezuela, and Mexico and Great Britain. They're going to be facing off. They're actually facing off right now. Other games going on later. Puerto Rico and Colombia. It's a pretty good game. One of the better ones going on today. And Nicaragua and the Dominican. And then Taipei and Czechia. So, um, lots of good games today. Not the best ones, but still you're seeing competitive baseball, meaningful baseball for the first time since November, man. So I'm really excited for this, and I'm mostly excited for the United States of America to make their WBC debut game against Brazil. We got Logan Webb on the bump for Team USA. He is one of my favorite players. He's the Giants ace. He's so good. I think he's so underrated as well. He doesn't really get the respect he deserves. By the way, MLB The Show rankings came out today, and somehow Logan Webb isn't even the diamond. I don't understand that. He should be at 90 if we're being, oh, that's maybe a little much. He's 100% deserving of a diamond, and I'm not happy with SDS and Sony screwing him over again because this guy should be a diamond perennially. He should be a perennial diamond. That's a fact. The lineup hasn't been released yet, but I'm gonna guess it's gonna look something like Witt, Harper, Judge, Schwarber, kind of like how it was at the beginning. You throw a little Bregman in there, Cal Raleigh, PCA, Buxton, Terang, Henderson, maybe over Witt, depending on the handingness. But actually, I like Witt, though. I think the lineup that, and Roman Anthony as well, I think the lineup that Team USA put up against the Giants is a good lineup, and I think they might stick with that. But here's what I'm looking for today from the United States of America in their first WBC game against Brazil. I'm looking for complete and utter domination. And if it's anything less than a margin of victory of 10 runs, I'm going to consider this a bad game for the United States because I want to see the United States of America, the best team in the tournament, just manhandle this Brazil team. And I don't want to see a run given up, and I want to see this game over by the seventh inning mercy rule, just like Japan did earlier this morning. That's what I'm looking for. And to be honest, that's what I'm expecting from this United States team. And I am so excited for this game to get underway. The Giants also play today, bringing it back to spring training. The Giants go up against the Reds. It's going to be Molly pitching against Andrew Abbott. So those are pretty good. Um, Two pretty good pitchers. Andrew Abbott was an all-star last year, and Tyler Molly, he has potential to be good for us this year. So we're going to be interested to see how Molly pitches his first game, his only game in spring training, an inning pitched and did not give up any hits, just the one walk and struck out two against the A's. That was 5 days ago. So he's probably going to get extended here. He's going to go a little bit longer. Trying to solidify his spot in the rotation. It should be his if he pitches well today. And that's what's going on for baseball. Let's go over to basketball. Yesterday, the Warriors beat the Houston Rockets in overtime by a score of 115 to 113. I did not watch the game because I worked during the entirety of it, and I fully expected the Warriors to lose this game. I didn't even talk about it yesterday. Well, I mentioned it, but I didn't have that much time. As if you watched yesterday's episode, you would have known that. But how did the Warriors win this game? I mean, just looking at, first of all, I got to mention who was not playing for the Warriors before we talk about who did play. Both Currys, Jimmy Butler, obviously, Porzingis, GP2, Moody, and Will Richard. That's four starters in our best lineup that weren't playing yesterday. The only one being Draymond or Pods or Melton or Horford, depending on who you want to play. Guy Santos played 42 minutes. Pods played 40. That's way too many, but considering who we had playing, that's what they had to do. I mean, we were down to a whole bunch of, you know, players brought up from the G League playing meaningful minutes. I mean, Cryer played 20, QP 20, Leons and Williams played 12 and 18. And man, Guy Santos 42 minutes, so he was plus 20, and Draymond was plus 12 in his 35 minutes. Um, Pods continues to rebound the heck out of the ball, 26 and 9. Anthony Melton 23, Al Horford 17, 6 and 5. And the Warriors took down the Houston Rockets, who are the fourth seed right now, tied with the Nuggets, and a game back of the Timberwolves, who have won 5 in a row. But man, I don't know how the Warriors won this game. And it went to overtime, and in overtime, only 14 points scored for the Warriors, but it was two more than the Rockets did. I guess the Warriors just had momentum. I mean, it's crazy. I did not expect that at all. I didn't really watch the game, so I'm not sure what could be attributed to that. I mean, the Rockets shot the ball well, so did we. It was pretty evenly matched the whole way. Um, yeah, I mean, the stats reflect that Houston should have won the game, but I mean the Warriors won, so good for us. I can't explain it, but it did happen. The Nuggets beat the Lakers as well. Let's go over some of the meaningful games. The Wolves have won 5 in a row, like I mentioned, over the Raptors, 115-107. 121-106, the Spurs beat the Pistons. That's a big matchup, potential finals matchup. The Magic beat the Mavs. Doesn't really matter that much. And that's what's going on. So today we got some nationally televised games on this Friday. We got the Mavs and the Celtics, and we got the Spurs and the Clippers. Other big games, the Knicks and the Nuggets. That's pretty much the only big game today is the Knicks and the Nuggets, and that is a big one. Potential finals preview. That's going on today, Friday. Also going on today, the San Jose Sharks return to action against the St. Louis Blues. Haven't played since our win on Tuesday, but we have won 3 in a row. We are still ninth in the Western, and the Kraken played last against this Blues team. They're the team that's ahead of us, and they lost. The Blues, I believe the Kraken they're not playing today. They didn't play yesterday. The Kraken will go on Saturday against the Senators. But today we got a chance to make up some ground there. We can get 2 points. We can get within 1 point with a win. We can get within 2 points, which is still within one win, with an overtime loss. But I just want to get I want to get those 2 points, man, regardless. The Sharks going up against the St. Louis Blues. Have these teams met yet before the season? I actually can't remember if we've played them. So this might be our first meeting with St. Louis. I think it might be. But we're just trying to have a good game here. Um, yeah, we're just trying to have a good game. Taking a look at the Blues. I mean, they're not really incredible in any category except they hit their top 5 in hits. But other than that, I mean, this could be kind of a trap game for the Sharks. I mean, we do have the Islanders coming in tomorrow, so this is the first end of a back-to-back. You'd want to get this one, so whatever happens against the Islanders, you don't lose too many points in the standings. But this is a big opportunity for the Sharks to gain some. I don't want to say easy points, but to gain some easy points. That's the truth. Just as a real chance for San Jose to get some points. So hopefully we can capitalize, get to at least one, but trying to get 2 points to game within one game of the Kraken. We are on a 3-game win streak. Let's make it 4 tonight. That's the goal. A lot has happened in the NFL recently, and we're going to talk about it quickly. There was a couple of big trades. Trent McDuffie, he got traded to the Rams. He's a former All-Pro. I don't like that because the Rams got better, and let's leave it at that. The other one we did not really talk about yesterday, DJ Moore got traded from the Bears to the Bills, and there are a couple of points I have to make about this one. Number one is the Bears, the Bears championship window and their opportunity for contention, it's wide open. It is wide open. And, or rather, but, you want to say but in that situation, but they just traded away their wide receiver one to the Bills. So it's kind of an interesting move, and I don't think it's a move of we're selling. I think it's they're going to get better at that position, and they think they can upgrade from DJ Moore. And whether that be bringing in another number one or bringing in somebody in the draft in the first round. But what I think is more plausible is they're going to bring in a wide receiver two to replace Rome Odunze's spot because they think that Rome Odunze is going to evolve his game over the offseason and become the new number one receiver for the Chicago Bears. And I think that's a very realistic scenario. And I think that's why they traded DJ Moore, because Rome Odunze is going to take the next step and become a true wide receiver one for the Bears. But yeah, no disrespect to DJ Moore. He's a very good receiver. I just don't think he's a wide receiver one. I think he's like a wide receiver 3/4, right? I mean, he's good. He's good, but there are definitely, there are better receivers. I'd be very happy if the Niners were to get him, but just him going to Buffalo though, this is probably the more important part of the deal that we have to talk about. DJ Moore, he's a good receiver, and the Bills have been wanting good receivers for a very long time. Ever since Diggs left, they have been short at that position, and they went out and they made the trade and they got their guy. DJ Moore, he was in Carolina, went to Chicago in that big deal that brought Caleb Williams to Chicago with that draft pick that allowed the Panthers to draft Bryce Young. But this is a big deal for Buffalo because they've been looking for a good wide receiver for a long time, and now they have their guy in DJ Moore. I also want to bring up one more aspect of this deal, kind of a third-party thing, but this also involves A.J. Brown because the Bills are the team that, in my opinion, they're most desperate for a wide receiver, okay? And A.J. Brown is probably the best wide receiver out there on the trade market, and it says a lot that the Bills, in their desperation and their need for a wide receiver, didn't go out and make a trade for A.J. Brown. And I think because the Bills didn't, it makes it less likely that it's going to happen, either because the price was too high or because nobody just wants to trade for him. But if the Bills didn't want to do it, then maybe nobody wants to do it. And I think it's more likely that we see A.J. Brown in an Eagles uniform next year than a different one. So that's actually going to do it for today's episode because I gotta get going. But this was a good episode. We talked about a lot, and there was not a lot of filler, which is good. But I gotta go right now. So thank you guys, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.